Let's talk about invoice prefixes and more specifically, agreement invoice prefixes. So I recently had a client who asked me if there was a way to distinguish her agreement invoices from the rest of the invoices based on a prefix. And at the time, I didn't think that was possible, but I did a little bit more digging and found a way that you can customize your invoice prefixes a little bit based on agreement type. So first off, when it comes to invoice prefixes, you can set all your invoices to have a prefix. And I do recommend that you do this. I think it looks a little bit more professional for you to put your company name or a little short version of your company name there. It makes your invoices really easy to search on the customer side, and it standardizes them across the board. If you want to change your invoice prefix for every invoice in your organization, you're going to do that in the billing setup table. So that's here under our system, setup tables, and then we're going to go to billing, and we're going to open up billing here. You'll have to do it for every location that you have. I only have one location, so I'm going to open up that location, and I'll scroll down to where it says prefix, and you'll scroll down and see here and there. In the invoice prefix suffix on invoice, I've put in MOZ. So I've put in Moser Consulting, a little bit of a short 3-letter prefix that I would like to show up on all my invoices. As soon as you save this in your billing table, this will be in effect for any invoice you create going forward. And any invoice you create going forward, we're going to see that little prefix right there. Now, what if I wanted to have every invoice that had an agreement type, I wanted to have it say agreement or AGR. I can do that from the agreement types in the setup tables. So I'm going to go back into my system setup tables, and I'm going to go to agreement type. And when you're in these agreement types, you can see that if you go into one of your agreement types and scroll down, we have that invoice prefix right here, so MGS. This is my managed service agreement. I want it to say MGS. I could standardize these and make them all just say agreement so I know which ones are agreement. It doesn't really matter. It's however you want to do this internally, but I'm going to go ahead and hit save. What happens is when an invoice is created for that agreement type, so our managed service agreement type, which we can see right here, it overwrites the prefix that you set company-wide, that MOZ, and what it's doing is it's showing MGS. So it says, based on the agreement type, here's the invoice prefix that we're going to use. You could make one for every single one of your different agreement types, or you could have one that just says AGR for every agreement type. Again, however you want to use it. So go ahead, test this out within your organization, see if you want to add invoice prefixes or suffixes to your process, and make your invoice numbers look a little bit more professional.